Good evening, everyone. Please quiet down. Good evening, everyone. You're being recorded. Please quiet down. Well done. Thank you, Township Manager. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the September 8th, 2025 meeting of the Haverford Township Board of Commissioners. Before we begin, I'd like to make a note that the Board of Commissioners met in executive session prior to this meeting to discuss legal-related matters. We'll begin the meeting with our roll call. I'll ask our Township Manager, Dave Berman, to please take the roll.
Commissioner Gondek?
Present.
Commissioner Forstey-Grupp?
Here.
Commissioner Cavender?
Here.
Commissioner Holmes?
Here.
Commissioner Quinn?
Here.
Commissioner Hart?
Here.
Commissioner McCullum?
Here.
Commissioner McCluskey?
Here.
Commissioner Trombetta?
Here. Thank you. I now ask everyone to please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, which will be led by our Police Chief, John Viola. Please remove your hats if you're wearing them. And following the pledge, I'd like to ask everyone to please remain standing and join me in a moment of silence. This week, we remember the anniversary of September 11th, 2001, a day in which nearly 3,000 lives were lost. We honor the victims, their families, and all who responded with courage and sacrifice. With that, Chief Viola.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Bless America.
Thank you. We'll now move on to agenda item number 2 to hear a presentation of proclamations. The first one beginning with Charlie Hannon of the Boy Scouts of America for earning the rank of Eagle Scout. This will be read by Commissioner Jerry Hart at the podium. Commissioner Hart, the floor is yours.
Township of Haverford, County of Delaware, Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, takes great pleasure in acknowledging notable achievements of young adults in the community. And whereas the Board of Commissioners wish to applaud Charlie Hannon of the Boy Scouts of America for earning the rank of Eagle Scout. And whereas Charlie, who has earned the rank of Eagle Scout, resides in the 8th Ward of Haverford Township, he started scouting as a Tiger Cub in Troop 144 at St. Denis Church in 2014. And whereas Charlie's Eagle Scout project was inspired by his experience earning the Gardening Merit Badge in July 2020, where he learned about the critical role of pollinators in our ecosystem. Later, while working on a Personal Management Merit Badge in March 2021, he developed a written plan for a pollination garden, which he later chose to pursue as an Eagle project. With the support from the CREC, Charlie expanded his idea into a full project. The CREC had already begun reclaiming areas along the new trail behind their facility and established a pollination garden. 2 additional plots along the trail were selected for Charlie's project. Volunteers helped clear invasive species from these areas. Charlie then selected a variety of native plants chosen for their flowering times, height, and root depth, and led the planting of over 90 plants to restore the habitat and support pollinators. He also built 2 benches for use near the garden and the bird lookout. And whereas within the troop, Charlie has held several leadership roles, including historian, patrol leader, senior patrol leader, and most recently, junior assistant scoutmaster. And whereas outside of scouting, Charlie is an active member of Haverford High School's FRC robotics team, 484, RoboForce. In his freshman year, the team qualified for the World Championships in Houston, Texas. Since then, they have earned 2 FRC Blue Banners for winning regional events and have qualified for districts every year. Charlie plans to pursue a career in robotics and is currently considering Widener University for his robotics major. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed by the Board of Commissioners of the Township of Haverford, County of Delaware, Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, that said Board of Commissioners hereby acknowledges and congratulates Charlie for his many contributions to his community with long hours and dedicated work. The blessings go with him as he faces new challenges. Proclaimed this 8th day of September, 2025. Judy Trombetta, President. Dave Berman, Township Manager and Secretary. Congratulations. Come on up.
Selfie too, or?
Okay. Congratulations.
All right, congratulations. I now invite Commissioner McCollum to the podium to present a proclamation to the Hilltop 8, 10, and 12 and under girls softball teams on their recent achievements. Commissioner McCollum, the floor is yours.
Good evening, everyone. I'd like to make a proclamation for the Hilltop 8, 10, and 12 and under girls softball teams. Whereas the Board of Commissioners of the Township of Haverford, County of Delaware, Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, takes immense pleasure in acknowledging the accomplishments of local sports teams. And whereas the Board of Commissioners wish to congratulate the Hilltop 8, 10, and 12 and under girls softball teams for their recent accomplishments by becoming PA District 1 champions. For the 8 and 12 and under teams also winning PA state titles. And for the 8, 10, and 12 and under teams for also winning the Mid-Atlantic Regional Tournament and defeating teams from Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Delaware, Maryland, and New York. Whereas the following managers, coaches, and players have proven the value of hard work and determination and good sportsmanship. There's 37 names on here. I'm not going to read them all. So we can start with the youngest group, the 8-year-olds. If you could come up with your coaching staff. And when they're done, the 10s and 12s can follow as well. Across this side
Take a
too.
picture with them first.
All right, the 10-year-olds, you can come on up. Oh, you want a picture? That's fine. Hey, Chuck.
Congratulations.
Mike, good job there.
We'll take a 2-minute recess to allow folks who want to leave to file out. Thank you so much. We're going to begin or resume our Board of Commissioners meeting. Thank you. So we'll move on to agenda item number 3, the citizens forum portion of our meeting. Each speaker will be given approximately 3 minutes to share their remarks. We'll begin with individuals who signed up in advance, and during this portion, we also welcome comments on agenda items. If you wish to speak about a matter not on tonight's agenda, you'll have the opportunity to do so during the second citizens forum later in the meeting. Commissioners will have the opportunity to respond to any matters raised after all the speakers have been heard. With that, I'll now invite our first registered speaker to the podium, Mary Bear Shannon. When coming to the podium, please state your name and offer your address or general residency of the township. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Mary Bear Shannon, and I live My son's road to recovery was a difficult one, both for him and our family. The progression of his disease took him to some very dark places and nearly cost him his life. I speak to you today not about our son's experience in achieving sobriety and recovery, for that is his story to tell. I come before you to tell you about my own recovery and my journey as a parent of a child with substance use disorder. My experience with my son's trouble with substances started when he was a student at Haverford High School and peaked in late 2022, when after many attempts at treatment, he achieved sobriety and began a 2.5-year period of recovery, which continues today. Through much of this time, I had the notion that somehow I would find the right words or discover the right actions on my part that would make my son get well. I took it upon myself to fix all the problems that my son created because of his addiction: parking tickets, unpaid bills, totaled cars, and legal trouble. I was caught up in the hurricane that was my son's life, and I was just as miserable as he was. My recovery began when someone connected me with a parent partnership support group run by the organization Be a Part of the Conversation. I came into the group thinking it would help me fix my kid. What it really did was help me to learn how to take care of myself by stepping off of the roller coaster I had been on with my son. Eventually, I learned to allow my son to experience the consequences of his actions and to get out of his way for recovery. I realized that all the help I had been trying to give and had only delayed him getting better. I was not the cause of his disease, but I was going to no longer contribute to the progression of it. So I am also the face of recovery. Learning to take care of myself, regardless of how my son was doing, helped me to grow personally. I am changed by what happened, and I am truly grateful. I speak to help combat the stigma that comes with substance use disorder. Many who experience this disease, along with their families, suffer in silence because of stigma. By speaking out about my experience, I hope someone who hears my story will feel less alone. Lastly, I would urge you as decision makers, as a decision-making body, to support and, might I dare say, champion issues that come before you that support recovery, both for those with substance use disorder and also the families who are impacted by the disease. Thank you.
Thank you. We have no other registered speakers, so now I'll open the floor for agenda items this evening. Anybody on the left-hand side wish to speak on an agenda item? None. We'll move into the right-hand side. Anybody on the right-hand side wish to speak about an agenda item this evening? Okay. Thank you, Mary, for sharing your story. At this time, I'd like to open the floor to my colleagues for any comments or remarks this evening.
If I could, Madam President, Mrs. Shannon, thank you very much for those powerful comments. It is our duty up here to champion these organizations and the people who go through this. It is the loneliest place on earth when you're going through it. And what you said tonight may make a difference for one person, and that alone would be enough to reward you for your efforts here. So we sometimes have people who come before our board and they want to open a business, or they want to start doing counseling. And there's sometimes we have pushback from people, from neighbors or from folks in the township who say they don't want that kind of business here. And all I could say is that addiction doesn't go to local zoning boards and ask for permission as to what neighborhood to go into, or ask the police where they're allowed to engage in their activities. It affects all of us, every one of us in this township. Thank you for sharing your experience and your son's experience, and we are all richer and better for it.
Thank you. Any further comments?
And I too would like to thank you for speaking about that. It means a lot to me too, from having some family members in a recovery, and for years we've been trying to fight this stigma. So thank you for being a hero to all of us.
Thank you. Further comments? I'll just echo that and say thank you. Thank you for taking the time to come tonight. At this time, I'd like to invite our chair of the Commissioners' Fire Committee, Commissioner Gondek, to share this month's Bureau of Fire update. Commissioner Gondek, the floor is yours.
The Haverford Township Bureau of Fire report for August of 2025. Total incidents of 69, 58 township incidents, and 11 out-of-township mutual aid incidents. The average personnel per call was 16. We had 911 personnel hours committed to incidents and 487 personnel hours committed to training. The Haverford Township Bureau of Fire provided mutual aid to 2 working fires within Delaware County and 1 working fire in Montgomery County. The Haverford Township Bureau of Fire also responded to a working fire at 6 Sunny Hill Lane on Tuesday, August 26th at 10:57 p.m. 75 members from the 5 township fire companies responded, along with mutual aid from Bromall and Drexel Hill Fire Companies. Companies were on the scene for approximately 2 hours and 16 minutes for that fire. I would also report that with regards to our ambulances in the month of August, we had 428 dispatches, resulting in 362 patient charts being created. Included in that, there were 73 out-of-township responses and 25 coverages into our township.
Thank you for that update. Are there any questions or comments related to this report? Hearing none, we'll move on to our Township Auditor update. Mr. Ross Anderson, I'd invite you to come to the podium to share your monthly report.
Hello, sorry for being a little bit late. I actually just recently started a job at Pet Boys, and I gotta say, fortunately, they are car people, but they're definitely not accountants. Whew, a lot of cleanup work there, a lot of fun there. I also want to give you guys a warning. So I learned my lesson this other week. Never show up to your fantasy draft too late, because I did the other day. I missed the first 5 rounds, and of all people, they drafted me Dak Prescott. I was like, Ugh. But anyways, I also reviewed the warrants and expenditures for this meeting. I found no irregularities, and all my questions were answered to my satisfaction. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any questions or comments for Mr. Anderson? Okay, at this time, I'd like to invite our Township Manager update, Dave Berman, to provide his update for this month. Mr. Berman, the floor is yours.
2 items. First, an update on the status of 1744 Vermont Road. That's the yellow house at the end of the township in the 9th Ward. That house, as you all know, is owned by the township and is scheduled for demolition. The agenda this evening includes a award of a contract for the removal of the asbestos siding and some asbestos caulk. And once that's complete, the demolition will then take place following that. The abatement should occur late this month into early October, and the demolition will be shortly after that. Second item I have is the zoning update process. The dates of the educational sessions. We have one that is solid so far. That is Wednesday, October 29th at 6:30 p.m. here in this room. And the second date remains to be determined. We're still working on that. And that's all I have.
Are there any questions or comments for Mr. Berman? Hearing none, we now move on to agenda item number 7, the approval of warrants. I'll now entertain a motion.
Madam President.
Yes, Commissioner Holmes.
Madam President, I move we approve warrant number 9 of 2025, totaling $4,861,107.78, comprising the general fund and sewer fund payroll for August 14 of 2025 in the amount of $845,101.55, general and sewer fund payroll for August 28, 2025 in the amount of $795,273.75, general fund disbursements in the amount of $1,686,278.51. Sewer fund disbursements in the amount of $173,626.09. Community Development Block Grant Fund disbursement in the amount of $65,313.10. Capital Projects Fund disbursements in the amount of $263,033.27. American Rescue Plan Fund disbursements in the amount of $15,616.53. Credit card statement ending July 27th, 2025 in the amount of $18,496.82. And debt service for the Series 2023A bonds, principal and interest in the amount of $681,150. And debt service in the Series 2023B bonds, principal and interest in the amount of $317,218.16.
I've heard a motion. Is there a second? Thank you. I've heard a motion, a second. Motion's now open for discussion. Are there any questions or comments?
Our township auditor was, as he said, late for his draft because he reviewed these warrants. Any questions that he raised were answered to his satisfaction by township staff. He recommends that this be approved, as do I.
Thank you. Any further questions or comments? Hearing none. Mr. Berman, please take the roll.
Commissioner Gondon.
Yes.
Commissioner Forresty Grow.
Yes.
Commissioner Cavender.
Yes.
Commissioner Holmes.
Yes.
Commissioner Quinn.
Yes.
Commissioner Hart.
Yes.
Commissioner McCullum.
Yes.
Commissioner McCluskey.
Yes.
Commissioner Trombetta.
Yes. Motion carries. Thank you. We'll now move on to agenda item number 8, appointments. I'll begin by entertaining a motion for an appointment to the Civil Service Commission.
Madam President, I'd like to make a motion to appoint Monet Riley to the Civil Service Commission for the term ending December 31st, 2027.
Thank you. Is there a second? Thank you. There's a motion and a second. The motion's now open for discussion. Are there any other nominees for this position?
Madam President,
Yes. Commissioner McCollum.
motion to appoint Charles Stevenson to the Civil Service Commission for the term ending December 31st, 2027.
Second.
Thank you. I've heard a motion and a second. Are there any other nominees for this position?
Move we close nominations.
Thank you. I've heard a motion to close. Is there a second? All those in favor of closing the nominations, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? The board will now consider a motion Board will now consider Monet Riley and Charles Stevenson for the Civil Service Commission for the term ending December 31st, 2027. Mr. Berman, will you please take the roll?
Commissioner Gondik.
Charlie Stevenson.
Commissioner Forresty Grubb.
Monet Riley.
Commissioner Cavender.
Monet Riley.
Commissioner Holmes.
Ms. Riley.
Commissioner Quinn.
Charles Stevenson.
Commissioner Hart.
Ms. Riley.
Commissioner McCollum.
Charlie Stevenson.
Commissioner McCluskey.
Monet Riley.
Commissioner Trombetta.
Monet Riley. Congratulations, Ms. Riley. Thank you, Mr. Stevenson. All right, we'll now move on to 2 appointments to the Human Relations Commission. I'll entertain a motion for the first appointment.
Madam President,
Yes, Commissioner Holmes.
I move that we nominate Terry Lawrence to the Human Relations Commission for the term ending December 31st, 2026.
Second.
Heard a motion and a second. Are there any other nominees for this position?
To close.
Heard a motion to close. Is there a second?
Second.
Board will now consider a motion to close by a voice vote. All those in favor of closing nominations, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, please say nay. Any abstentions? Board will now consider Terry Lawrence for the Human Relations Commission for the term ending December 31st, 2026. Mr. Berman, take the roll.
Commissioner Gondik.
Terry Lawrence.
Commissioner Forresty Grubb.
Terry Lawrence.
Commissioner Cavender.
Terry Lawrence.
Commissioner Holmes.
Terry Lawrence.
Commissioner Quinn.
Yes.
Commissioner Hart.
Terry Lawrence.
Commissioner McCollum.
Terry Lawrence.
Commissioner McCluskey.
Terry Lawrence.
Commissioner Trombetta.
Terry Lawrence. Congratulations. We'll now move on to consider a second appointment to the Human Relations Commission. I'll entertain a motion.
Madam President, I'd like to make a motion to appoint Tessa Taylor to the Human Relations Commission for the term ending December 31st, 2025.
Second.
Heard a motion and a second. The motion's now open for discussion. Are there any other nominees for this position?
Motion to close.
Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. The board will now consider a motion to close by a voice vote. All those in favor of closing nominations, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, please say nay.
Nay.
Any abstentions? Board will now consider Tessa Taylor for the Human Relations Commission for the term ending December 31st, 2025. Mr. Berman, please take the roll.
Commissioner Gondik.
Tessa Taylor.
Commissioner Forresty Grubb.
Yes.
Commissioner Cavender.
Tessa Taylor.
Commissioner Holmes.
Tessa Taylor.
Commissioner Quinn.
Yes.
Commissioner Hart.
Ms. Taylor.
Commissioner McCollum.
Ms. Taylor.
Commissioner McCluskey.
Tessa Taylor.
Commissioner Cavender.
Trombetta.
Trombetta, sorry.
Tessa Taylor. Congratulations to Ms. Taylor. We'll now move on to consider our consent agenda. At this time, I'd like to ask my colleagues if anyone wishes to remove an item from the consent agenda for individual consideration later in the meeting. Hearing no requests, I'll now entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Move to approve items A to D, A through D of the consent agenda as further detailed in the public packet.
Second.
Heard a motion and a second. Are there any questions or comments from my colleagues on the board regarding items on the consent agenda? Hearing none, we'll move to a vote. Ms. Berman, please take the roll.
Commissioner Gondik.
Yes.
Commissioner Forresty Grubb.
Yes.
Commissioner Cavender.
Yes.
Commissioner Holmes.
Yes.
Commissioner Quinn.
Yes.
Commissioner Hart.
Yes.
Commissioner McCollum.
Yes.
Commissioner McCluskey.
Yes.
Commissioner Trombetta.
Yes. Motion carries. Thank you. The board, we're moving on to ordinances. The board will now consider 3 ordinances this evening, beginning with P9 2025. This is the second reading. I'll entertain a motion.
Sorry, where are we? Madam President, I move we adopt the second reading of ordinance P9 of 2025, further amending and supplementing ordinance number 1091, adopted May 11th, 1959, and known as the General Laws of the Township of Haverford, Chapter 55, bicycles, skateboards, and roller skates.
Second.
Thank you. We've heard a first and a second. The motion's now open for discussion. Are there any questions or comments from my colleagues on this board?
Madam President, it's the second reading. Obviously, it was something we were all eager to do on the first reading, and I imagine we'll be just as eager tonight.
Thank you. Further questions or comments? Hearing none, we'll move to a vote. Mr. Berman.
Commissioner Gondik.
Yes.
Commissioner Forresty Grubb.
Yes.
Commissioner Cavender.
Yes.
Commissioner Holmes.
Yes.
Commissioner Quinn.
Yes.
Commissioner Hart.
Yes.
Commissioner McCullum.
Yes.
Commissioner McCluskey.
Yes.
Commissioner Trombetta.
Yes, motion carries. Thank you. The board will now consider P10 2025, a traffic ordinance. This is the second reading. I'll entertain a motion.
Madam President, I'd like to make a motion to adopt the first reading of ordinance number P10, 2025, second reading. But it says motion to adopt the first reading.
It does, but we did do it last month.
Okay, motion to adopt the second reading of ordinance number P10, 2025, further amending and supplementing ordinance number 1960, adopted June 30th, 1986, and known as General Laws of the Township of Haverford, Chapter 175, Vehicles and Traffic. Sticker parking on Brookline Boulevard, special purpose parking on Pennsylvania Avenue, no parking here to corner at Panmure Road and Buck Lane, parking of commercial vehicles prohibited on Olcott Avenue.
Second.
Heard a motion and a second. The motion's now open for discussion. As a reminder, again, this is the second reading. Are there any questions or comments? Hearing no discussion, we'll move to a vote. Mr. Berman, please take the roll.
Commissioner Gondik.
Yes.
Commissioner Forresty Grubb.
Yes.
Commissioner Cavender.
Yes.
Commissioner Holmes.
Yes.
Commissioner Quinn.
Yes.
Commissioner Hart.
Yes.
Commissioner McCullum.
Yes.
Commissioner McCluskey.
Yes.
Commissioner Trombetta.
Yes, motion carries. Thank you. The board will now consider P11 2025, a traffic ordinance. This is a first reading. I'll entertain a motion.
Madam President,
Yes, Commissioner McCollum.
motion to adopt the first reading of ordinance number P10-2025, further amending and supplementing ordinance number 1960, adopted June 30th, 1986, and known as General Laws of the Township of Haverford, Chapter 175, Vehicles and Traffic, establishing limited 2-hour parking on Pilgrim Lane.
Heard a motion. Is there a second? Heard a motion and a second. The motion's now open for discussion. Are there any questions or comments from my colleagues on this board regarding this ordinance? Hearing no discussion, we'll move to a vote. Mr. Berman.
Commissioner Gondik.
Yes.
Commissioner Forresty Grubb.
Yes.
Commissioner Cavender.
Yes.
Commissioner Holmes.
Yes.
Commissioner Quinn.
Yes.
Commissioner Hart.
Yes.
Commissioner McCullum.
Yes.
Commissioner McCluskey.
Yes.
Commissioner Trombetta.
Yes, motion carries. Thank you. We now move on to agenda item number 11, resolutions. This evening, the board will consider 3 resolutions, starting with resolution number 2455-2025. I'll now entertain a motion.
Motion to approve resolution number 2455, 2025, revising the Act 537 plan.
Heard a motion. Is there a second?
Yes.
Thank you. I've heard a motion and a second. The motion's now open for discussion. Are there any questions or comments from my colleagues on the board? Hearing none, we'll move to a vote. Mr. Berman.
Commissioner Gondik.
Yes.
Commissioner Forresty Grubb.
Yes.
Commissioner Cavender.
Yes.
Commissioner Holmes.
Yes.
Commissioner Quinn.
Yes.
Commissioner Hart.
Yes.
Commissioner McCullum.
Yes.
Commissioner McCluskey.
Yes.
Commissioner Trombetta.
Yes, motion carries. Thank you. We'll now move on to resolution number 2458-2025. I'll entertain a motion.
Madam President,
Yes, Commissioner McCollum.
motion to approve a minor subdivision and land development plan.
We have to do this one first.
I'm sorry. I'm out
I got it.
of order, sorry.
Madam President, motion to approve resolution number 2458-2025, approving a 2-lot consolidation at 2620 Prescott Road, Havertown.
Second.
Heard a motion and a second. The motion's now open for discussion. Are there any questions or comments from my colleagues on this board regarding this resolution? Hearing none, we'll move to a vote. Mr. Berman, please.
Commissioner Gondik.
Yes.
Commissioner Forresty Grubb.
Yes.
Commissioner Cavender.
Yes.
Commissioner Holmes.
Yes.
Commissioner Quinn.
Yes.
Commissioner Hart.
Yes.
Commissioner McCullum. Commissioner McCluskey.
Yes.
Commissioner Trombetta.
Yes, motion carries. Thank you. We now move on to resolution number 2459-2025. I'll entertain a motion.
Madam President,
Commissioner McCollum.
motion to approve a minor subdivision and land development plan for Marley Real Estate Holdings for a 2-lot subdivision and land development, including the construction of stormwater management at 564 Central Avenue, Havertown, Second. We are not accepting the waiver.
Thank you. So there's a motion made to, is there a second for that with the removal of the waiver? Thank you. So the motion's now open for discussion. Are there any questions or comments from my colleagues on this board?
What, I'm not sure, did something change?
They requested a waiver for putting in sidewalks, and so the resolution that was proposed was that we would not approve that waiver, that we're looking to have the sidewalks put in.
Okay, got it, thank you.
That's how the resolution is written, right? Or are we amending it?
The resolution is written in a manner that allows the board to determine whether or not the
Oh,
waiver
okay.
should be granted.
So it needs clarification. Sorry, thank you.
Okay, any further questions or comments? Then the board is voting on this motion, again, with the understanding that we are not accepting the waiver request. And with that, Mr. Berman, please take the roll.
Commissioner Gondik?
Yes.
Commissioner Forresty Grubb?
Yes.
Commissioner Cavender?
Yes.
Commissioner Holmes?
Yes.
Commissioner Quinn?
Yes.
Commissioner Hart?
Yes.
Commissioner McCullum?
Yes.
Commissioner McCluskey?
Yes.
Commissioner Trombetta?
Yes, motion carries. Thank you. We now move on to agenda item number 12, a conditional use approval for St. Faith Equity LLC and Wonder Spring for their property at 1208 Alston Road. I'll now entertain a motion.
Yes, I make a motion to approve the conditional use variance for St. Faith Equity and Wonder Spring for the property located at 1208 Alston Road, permitting a combination of uses, including as a nursery school, kindergarten, elementary school, and enrichment, summer camp, and associated education, recreation.
Second.
We've heard a motion and a second. The motion's now open for discussion. I'd like to ask our solicitor to please walk us through this.
Thank you, Madam President. Yes, if it's in the board's desire to approve this conditional use application, I'd make a recommendation that approval be subject to the following conditions that were discussed at the hearing that was held on August 4th, 2025. And the applicant is in agreement with these conditions. The first, that the applicant comply with the testimony and exhibits of the applicant at the hearing, unless otherwise amended or acceptable by the Board of Commissioners. That would include all of the exhibits that were presented by the applicant. Number two, that the applicant comply with all federal, state, local laws and obtain any other permits or requirements necessary from any municipal entity having jurisdiction. Three, that the drop-off and pickup of the students at the school on the property be permitted only on the south side of Brookline Boulevard and the west side of Alston Road. That the applicant shall not oppose or promote opposition of any amendments to the Township's Code of Ordinances that would reinstate any parking restrictions along Alston Road between Brookline Boulevard and Sagamore Road. Four, the applicant prepare and implement a drop-off and pickup protocol which fully describes the procedures for drop-off/pickup and explain the protocol to those individuals dropping off or picking up students. The protocol shall be shared with neighboring property owners and the township upon request. 5, a designee of the school shall be provided to supervise the drop-off and pickup operations on a daily basis to ensure that the established protocol is implemented and observed. 6, the applicant shall not oppose or promote opposition to any amendments to the township's Code of Ordinances that would provide for a 15-mile-per-hour 15-mile-per-hour speed limit sign at the 1200 block at Alston Road in effect during the pickup drop-off periods during school days. Number 7, as may be applicable, any new construction, alterations, or redevelopment of the property or the buildings on the property shall comply with all township building, zoning, stormwater, and other applicable codes. And finally, condition 8, sports activities/games occurring on the property, including in the gymnasium that was the subject to the discussion at the hearing, that are not arranged or organized by the school, that being Wonder Spring, for the direct benefit and involvement of the students of the school shall be completed by 10 p.m. on weekday nights or Monday through Friday. It shall only be permitted to be held between 8 a.m. and 7 p.m. during the weekend, Saturday and Sunday. In addition, such games shall be scheduled in a manner that provides for at least a half-hour break in between game start times. So those would be the 8 conditions that were initially proposed and acceptable to the applicant for any decision of this board to vote to approve that application. Conditions could be added or altered at this time, but I would recommend that any approval be subject to the conditions finally determined by the board.
Thank you, Mr. Walko. Are there any questions or comments from my colleagues on this board?
Madam President,
Yes, Commissioner Holmes.
I would ask Commissioner Quinn to consider some amendments to this, some deletions to the order of the board, and also to the parking guidelines that are also incorporated into the order. In the order of the board, paragraph 3, the drop-off and pickup of students at the school on the property should be permitted only on the south side of Brookline Boulevard and the west side of Alston Road. I have no problem with that. The next sentence reads, the applicant shall not oppose or promote opposition to any amendments to the township's code of ordinances that would reinstate parking restrictions along Alston Road between Brookline Boulevard and Sagamore Road. I really think we shouldn't deprive these folks of the same right every other constituent here has in Haverford Township to come here and yell at us about things. In all seriousness, I don't like us codifying a special restriction that somebody can't exercise their right to petition the government for redress of their grievances. So I would ask that you consider removal of that sentence from paragraph 3 of the order.
Sure.
In 6, we have similar language, the entire paragraph. The applicant shall not oppose or promote opposition to any amendments to the township's code of ordinance that would provide for a 15 miles per hour speed limit sign on the 1200 block of Alston Road in effect during school drop-off pickup periods during school days. Again, this is not to say that we won't do this. It's to remove this restriction on their being able to have any opinion on that.
Sure.
Thank you. I also, in the parking guidelines, parking guideline number 2 refers to parking being restricted to 15 minutes for pickup and drop-off purposes only. This restriction applies from Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. as per municipal ordinance. I just need clarification. Is that currently an existing ordinance?
These guidelines were presented by the applicant for what they were proposing to present to their, students and families. So I would assume that that is what they believe the ordinance applies, but I've not checked the ordinance itself.
Yeah, but there's a yes or a no. John, do you know whether currently there's a 15-minute?
I'm not aware at that location.
I'm sorry, I was asking the chief.
I'm not sure. I had to look it up myself. We've been back and forth over there over the years with different parking regulations.
I would just like it to be very clear that that for parking regulations, for all these parking regulations, that the guideline is that they will obey the parking regulations and ordinances of this township. My concern, number 3, overnight parking, as the property is closed overnight, no on-street overnight parking should ever occur, except that if on-street parking, overnight parking is okay for everybody else on the street, I don't know how we can restrict these folks from doing it, especially if their business is closed.
Commissioner, from the top of my head, we were just there the other night for a fire alarm at 3 o'clock in the morning, by the way. I believe there's no parking on that side of the street because that block is, Connor, help me if I'm correct, because there's never any cars parked there. I have to go look at it myself. I'll look on Google here in a minute to see what it looks like.
Yeah,
We'd have to do a little research on the ordinances. I couldn't give you an honest answer.
And that's okay, because there's no question that the petitioners here will obey whatever ordinance we have and will obey whatever ordinances we pass. What I want to make clear in these guidelines is that that's what they're bound to and not bound beyond that. They are agreeing to encourage people to park at municipal lot, but in number 6, in enforcement, we say violations of this parking policy may result in fines, towing, or other enforcement measures. And unless it's an ordinance that has a fine, I don't know how we could impose any kind of fine, towing, or enforcement measure on these folks. So I would like, I would like 3 removed, and I would like 6 restated as violations of the law may result in fines, towing, and other enforcement measures. And I am assuming, because this says, per the municipal ordinance, that number 2 is referring to a regular regulation, an already existing ordinance. So, Mr. Quinn, would you be okay with those changes?
Yep.
I guess whoever seconded it needs to.
I agree as well.
You accept the changes?
Thank you, both. Chief?
Okay, so,
Commissioner, I just looked on Google. There are signs there now, 15-minute parking
Great.
only between certain hours.
Between 8 and 4, 8 a.m. and 4 p.m., probably.
11 to 4, it's hard to say, but it's, I guess, hard to say, it looks like 8 a.m. But it's geared for the nursing school there.
I think we
Thanks.
just
The 3 could stay, 2 could stay as is.
Yeah.
okay. Then I think we can, since the first and seconder agreed to the amendment, we'll consider this motion with the amendments as Mr. Holmes stated them. Are there any questions or comments from my colleagues on this board? Anything further? Hearing none, then I think we'll proceed with a vote. Or do I need to do a roll call on the amendment?
No,
Right now, the motion was accepted, so we should be voting on the motion as amended. If there's a discussion about whether or not that's unacceptable, the board should be discussing that at this time.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for that clarification. Any further questions or comments? Hearing none, Mr. Berman, take the roll, again, considering this motion as amended.
Commissioner Gondik,
Yes.
Commissioner Forresty Grubb,
Yes.
Commissioner Cavender,
Yes.
Commissioner Holmes,
Yes.
Commissioner Quinn.
Yes.
Commissioner Hart.
Yes.
Commissioner McCullum.
Yes.
Commissioner McCluskey. Commissioner Trombetta.
Yes, motion carries. Thank you. We now move on to agenda item number 13, the approval of the annual certification of the minimum municipal obligation. I'll entertain a motion.
Madam President.
Yes, Commissioner Holmes.
I move we approve our annual certification of the minimum municipal obligation as prepared by Thomas J. Anderson and Associates in the amount of $4,360,740 for the police pension plan, $1,998,928 for the non-uniform defined benefit pension plan, and $236,050 for the non-uniform defined contribution pension plan.
Second. Heard a motion, a second. The motion's now open for discussion.
Finance Director discussed this last week and explained once again what we do annually. This is to keep our pension plans solvent, and put in the amount of money necessary to satisfy the actuarial requirements for purposes of the MMO. And these figures were calculated right to the last possible minute last week, and Ms. Cuthbertson certifies these numbers as well.
That is correct. The only thing I'll add is that we do this every year, as you mentioned, and this is to give formal notice to the board that we would have to include, at a minimum, this amount in next year's budget to fund the pension adequately.
Thank you. Any further questions or comments? Hearing none, we'll ask Mr. Berman to please take the roll.
Commissioner Gondik.
Yes.
Commissioner Forresty Grubb.
Yes.
Commissioner Cavender.
Yes.
Commissioner Holmes.
Yes.
Commissioner Quinn.
Yes.
Commissioner Hart.
Yes.
Commissioner McCullum.
Yes.
Commissioner McCluskey.
Yes.
Commissioner Trombetta.
Yes. Motion carries. Thank you. We now move on to agenda item number 14 to extend a purchase agreement with the Delaware County Schools Healthcare Trust.
President, I'd make a motion to table this.
Thank you. Is there a second to table this?
Second.
Thank you. All those in favor of tabling, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Hearing none, we'll table this. Thank you. Now move on to agenda item number 15, a settlement agreement. I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to approve settlement agreement and release by and among the following parties: Haverford Township, E.R. Stubner, Inc., KCBA Architects, Reynolds Construction, LLC, B&D Masonry, Inc., Harvey Atchie Construction, LLC, Penn National Security Insurance Company, Pennsylvania National Mutual Casualty Insurance Company, and Continental Insurance Company.
Second.
Heard a motion and a second. The motion is now open for discussion. Are there any questions or comments from my colleagues on this board?
I would just make a brief comment, just because I don't believe that this was discussed at the work session, that this settlement agreement, I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, finally brings conclusion to the long drawn-out saga that has been the exterior wall to this township building. And so with this settlement, we'll be able to finally put that behind us.
We are all thrilled.
Thank you. Any further questions or comments? Hearing none, Mr. Berman, please take the roll.
Commissioner Gondek.
Yes.
Commissioner Forresty Grubb.
Yes.
Commissioner Cavender.
Yes.
Commissioner Holmes.
Yes.
Commissioner Quinn.
Yes.
Commissioner Hart.
Yes.
Commissioner McCollum.
Yes.
Commissioner McCluskey.
Yes.
Commissioner Trombetta.
Yes. Thank you. Motion carries. We'll now continue with the Citizens Forum, providing an opportunity for members of the public who wish to address the board. I kindly, again, ask that you keep your comments to approximately 3 minutes and ask any questions that you have at that time. Commissioners will have the opportunity to respond following, after hearing all citizens' comments. So if you'd like to speak, please come to the podium and we'll go from there. So that said, I'll start on the left-hand side. Nobody. On the right-hand side, we have vote? Yes, Mr. Field.
Good evening. My name is Jay Field, 144 Fawn Lane, Haverford Township, and I am the Haverford Township Little League President. Along with me tonight, Commissioner Sean Egan, Commissioner John Kendall, and Vice President Rick Polina. Approximately a month ago, we met with the Parks and Recreation Committee to address two major concerns of our Little League and, quite frankly, the township that have been on our minds for some time. I've handed out to you some photos and additionally some cost analysis and at the end a overall design of the complex. Unfortunately tonight, Chris Gorski, who is our maintenance manager and who did a lot of this preparation for tonight, was unable to be with us, so I will do the best to answer questions. If there are additional questions at the end or further, I will give you Chris's email, and he said to feel free to reach out to him. So our two concerns have been the corner of Carrick-on Drive, which has been a danger spot. I'm sure the police have been aware of this. We had an incident this year, opening day. An elderly woman fell into the street, and fortunately the car was able to stop. Secondly, I was at the field and a landscaping truck came around the corner on a wet day and drove right up to the ramp, I should say the guardrail, took out the sign and drove off. That is number one concern. Number two concern is, as shown on the images here, we have a one-lane road into our complex, and it has been a concern for our board for years now. And we finally said we need to take action with this and do something before, be proactive rather than reactive and do something about this. So we sat down in the winter and we agreed that we need to start. Chris was instrumental in helping us with this. We actually got the property surveyed. We paid for the survey. And then Chris began to formulate a plan, which is the packets that I handed out to you. I'll also let you see, unfortunately, I was unable to make a copy of this, but if you want to share this with the commissioners, let them see that, pass it down. We also took in, I should say too, I want to thank Brian Barrett. He's been very helpful with us. He had his crew help us move the stands. So we elected to move the stands from the road inward and get the people out of that area out into the outfield. So we've replaced our stands. We've taken all the stands away. And now we also built stands out in the outfield. So it's a nice viewing place for people to watch the game. So both costs, excuse me, we invested in as a point that we feel that this is now a very much a safety issue. A lot of kids run up and down the roadway, playing, going from game to game, parents, coaches, so it is definitely a concern to us. So our proposal tonight, after meeting with the Parks and Recreation Committee, of which they approved our recommendation, is that hopefully that you will see this as a necessity for our park, for safety and for long-term just betterment of the community and township. I do want to point out that additionally, it has been brought to my attention before by questions of what about staggering the games? And I just want to point to that fact, and that is no matter how much we stagger the games, there's still an issue. People will go up and down the road, whether there's one game or not. The other night, we had started fall ball. Little kids from little ages all the way up are running up and down the road, and I feel an accident is waiting to happen. I will state that parents commented to us this past week, excuse me, that they were thrilled that we took action to move the stands out to the outfield. So we are serious about this. We're willing to help, as we have shown already, in terms of putting well over $20,000 into this project already. And ironically now, since Brian's crew has moved his stands, some people still bring long chairs and they sit up in that area. So no matter what we do, so we almost have to take the steps away. But our goal really is to get people off of that area and into the outfield. And the map shows suggestions of where we would put a guardrail for a two-lane road and having people walk in that guardrail area. So if you have any questions, I'd be glad to answer those for you.
I have a question. So what is the specific ask of the township?
The specific ask is to pay for this remediation of our park and make a two-lane road.
Okay.
It's on the back page.
And the wall?
And the walk. So to clarify a little bit further, coming around the curve, the goal would be to make the entrance further up to the telephone pole. If you look at the view, that's a better sight area. And again, Chris could answer these questions much better. But when you come around the curve, exiting further up would be better. And then putting the walk crossway there to the pool's parking lot, people could see people coming across. It's a blind spot when you come around that corner. So that's number one. And then number two is the lane. But yes, it's how the township support us.
Thank
and
you.
pay for this.
And there's an estimate of costs
There are
on the back page.
second to the last page. Those are done in steps too. So, but we kind of gave you the worst case scenarios. Also, I want to stress from Chris that these were done, he reached out to PennDOT. So these are sound figures.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Just get my map.
And Jay, I think the state would have to approve the crosswalks there.
Yes. Yeah, Chris would be able to better.
No, I just looked it up. That would be.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you for
Right.
your time.
Any further comments during the citizens forum portion? Any further comments from my colleagues or questions from my colleagues at this time in response to anything presented? Okay, hearing none, we move on to new business. Are there any matters that my colleagues would like to bring forward for discussion at this time? Hearing none, we move on to other business portion of our meeting during which commissioners may make their final remarks. We'll start with Commissioner Gondek, First Ward.
Thank you. Just a couple of announcements. One is the Westgate Hills Civic Association is going to be having their movie night on September 27th at the park. They're going to be showing Hocus Pocus. The movie obviously will start at sundown, but get there earlier to get seats, and hopefully the weather will cooperate better than it did for the last movie night. Also, I'd like to take a moment to congratulate St. Paul's Syrian Orthodox Church on Glendale Road. This coming weekend, they're going to be celebrating their 25th anniversary jubilee. And then finally, I just want to recognize that between now and our next meeting, those of the Jewish faith will be celebrating their high holy days, and I just wish them all a good year.
Thank you, Commissioner Gondik. I'll now move on to Second Ward Commissioner Sherry Forsty-Grow.
This September is Library Card Sign-Up Month, and if you don't have a library card, it's a great excuse to walk into our newly renovated and expanded library and see all that the library can offer you in terms of a third space to spend your time. An absolutely free resource open to anyone in the township. If you do sign up for a library card, you can get something called a museum key, and that allows you to go to many museums, parks, and zoos in this area for free because you have that library card. So something to think about. Then one last comment about events in the library. On Wednesday, October 8th, from 10 a.m. to noon, the senior citizens will have an open library house sponsored by the Haverford Senior Citizens Advisory Council. They'll be serving light refreshments. There'll be tours offered, and there'll be a presentation by the library staff about all the ways that the library can serve our senior citizens. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Forster-Grubb. Commissioner Laura Camander, Fifth Ward.
Thank you. I just wanted to mention a couple of events. The Mainline Arts Center at 746 Pannier is hosting its Little Luxuries opening reception on September 12th from 6 to 8. Mainline Arts Center is a great resource in the township. This in particular is about small works of art, minute works of art. So there's accessible entry point for new collectors and provides avid collectors an opportunity to discover fresh artists and mediums. It's a juried exhibition, and it features work in a range of styles. All of the pieces are 10 by 10 inches or smaller and priced under $350. So kind of an interesting event happening. I also wanted to congratulate our township manager, Dave Berman, and Mia Badman, our executive administrative assistant. They recently united the Have a Good Times and the township newsletter to create the Haverford Times. I received mine last week in the mail, and it looks great. Unless you have opted out of receiving a physical newsletter by going online, be on the lookout for the newsletter in your mailbox. And I want to thank our township staff for working to improve communication with our residents and about the many important and useful and fun activities in the township. I would love to see these kinds of updates continue, as I think this kind of direct communication with our residents is one of the most important roles of our township administration. So thank you very much. That's all I have.
Thank you, Commissioner Cavender. Commissioner Holmes, the floor is yours.
Thanks. I promised Bruce Yasker I would also describe the senior citizens event. So that was October 10, is that right? October 8th, in the library from 10 to 12 a.m. to noon.
And as the chair of that committee, committee, I can approve of what you said.
You'll get to say that as well.
Oh,
Excellent.
you said, thank you.
So, as Commissioner Gondik noted, between now and our next meeting, some things will happen. Our neighbors and friends of the Jewish faith will celebrate a new year and their Day of Atonement. I wish them all a Happy New Year and an easy fast. Also, before our next meeting will be Haverford Township Day on Saturday, October 4th. And it will be the day that it always is. And we look forward to seeing everybody out there and thank the Haverford Township Day Committee in advance for their extraordinary work and for the work they will do to make that day the pride of our township. So that's all I have.
Thank you, Commissioner Holmes. Commissioner Quinn, you can now share more about the Senior Citizens Advisory Meeting.
Everybody did, so I was thrilled that you all did that. I'd like to remind everybody, school's back, so drive slow around the schools, or the police will be out in full force. So make sure you are safe around there. And I just want to go back to what we talked about earlier with the recovery month and stuff. And I think we've all known some who have struggled over the years, or have passed away. And I just want everybody, don't be ashamed or continue to speak up about it, like Mary did tonight, and shared about her son. I was really thought that was powerful there, and we have great groups in this community who help out too, as Chief McCann said last week when he discussed it. And I'd like to thank the police as well for all that they do with this as well. So thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Quinn. 8th Ward Commissioner Jerry Hart.
Just to give an update on Brookline Park. Anybody who's been by recently has noticed a lot of activity there. There's a lot of grading being done. We're hopeful, weather permitting, this fall with the grading, we'll have the installation of playground equipment, installation of the basketball court, some sidewalks, some tree planting. So we'll see a lot of, it will start to look much more like a park by November, December. This is the first phase. We are, for the most part, sticking pretty closely to the plan that was developed. There will be a second phase starting next spring. Exactly what we do in that phase is a little dependent on our funds, but there will be further improvements next spring or sometime in 2026. I'll also mention there's a program being offered with the Upper Darby Senior Center and the Delaware County Office of Aging for chronic pain self-management. It's a series of four or five Zoom meetings, and anyone who's interested can contact COSA at 610-499-1937. That's all I have.
Thank you, Commissioner Hart. Commissioner Mike McCollum.
As usual, just about everything I was going to say was mentioned already. So everybody have a good month. Thank you.
Thank you. Short and sweet. Vice President McCluskey.
Sure. We had another successful music festival in the 3rd Ward over the past weekend, and just thank the volunteers and the people who worked on that to put that together. It's always good to have activity in the neighborhood. Brings vitality, and it brings. So it's always nice to hear people from out of town come to Havertown and talk about how great it is, how great our township is. So I think it's important for us to remind each other sometimes. We're a little hard on the township itself. So there's a lot of good things happening in Haverford Township. Speaking of that, Commissioner Holmes mentioned Haverford Township Day. I'd also just like to remind that there is a 5K that takes place before the actual parade. It takes off from the middle school. You can sign up through our Haverford Township Recreation Department. Looks like registration opens September 17th. So that's all I have.
Thank you so much, Commissioner McCluskey. So as we close tonight's meeting, I too wanted to take a moment to recognize the Parks and Recreation Department, in particular regarding their work in the summer. On a personal note, my son and many of his friends took part in the summer camps and activities, and I saw firsthand the impact that these programs have on our kids and families. This summer alone, more than 8,000 campers participated in programs across the township. From day camps to specialty camps, there was truly something for everyone. On any given day, 500 children were at one of our 7 playground camps, enjoying safe and fun spaces to be outdoors, make new friends, and stay active. The department also employed over 130 teens and young adults as part of our summer staff. providing them with leadership opportunities and valuable work experience. Special congratulations to our counselors of the year, Lily Paul, Alana McBeardy, and Matt Hassan. Beyond youth programming, adults had plenty of ways to stay engaged too, including pickleball, tennis, golf, cooking classes, basketball, softball, fitness programs, and much more. These offerings reach thousands of residents and continue to strengthen our community. As already mentioned this evening, the Fall Have a Good Times was mailed last week and includes a full slate of exciting programs for all ages this fall. And of course, mentions our anticipated event of the Haverford Township Day and Run on Saturday, October 4th. The Recreation Department's efforts this summer truly reflect the strength of our community and the dedication of our staff, and I just want to thank you for all that you do. So thank you. I too wanted to take a moment to recognize that September is both National Recovery Month and Suicide Prevention Awareness Month. These observances remind us that recovery is possible, that help is available, and that no one has to struggle alone. It's a time to break down stigma, whether around substance use or mental health, and to honor the strength of those in recovery, as well as the families and professionals who support them. For anyone in crisis, help is just a phone call away by dialing 988, the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. I hope those listening know that their community cares and that there are resources available to you. Finally, I wanted to remind everyone again that this week marks September 11th, Day of Remembrance for the nearly 3,000 lives lost during the tragic events of 2001, and a time to honor the courage of our first responders. On Thursday, September 11th, the community is invited to take part in the 7th annual 9/11 Memorial Bike Ride, which honors the victims and recognizes the dedication of Delaware County's police, fire, and EMS. This is a 12-mile ride that begins at our very own Manoa Fire Company at 8:46 a.m., the moment the first tower was struck, and continues throughout Haverford Township and then on to neighboring communities before concluding at Rose Tree Park in Media. At 11 a.m. at Rose Tree Park, Delaware County Council, District Attorney's Office, and representatives from fire, law enforcement, and emergency services will gather for their annual 9/11 Remembrance Ceremony. So I encourage all who are able to attend, to give a wave if you see them drive by, as together we honor the victims, pay tribute to the heroes, and reaffirm our commitment to never forget. And with that said,
I have one quick thing to
yes,
add.
please.
The police will be having a football game tomorrow night at 6:30, and it will be at the high school field or the mid.
At the middle school?
No, it was moved to the back of the high school because of the regular field being used. So it's back where the baseball field is. So it's the annual game that Sergeant McCrate organizes along with the basketball and softball that we do every year.
Thank you. Any further final comments? What'd you say?
Is the chief got a quarterback?
Okay. All right, any other final comments from my colleagues on this board? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Moved.
Thank you, the meeting's adjourned.